Render is about to explode and I will tell you why. Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Doc. In today's video I'm going to explain to you why Render is about to explode in the coming weeks and also give you my short-term and bull run top price prediction. So let's start this video off with what's actually going on with the Render price since my video of last week. So basically last week's video, Render had actually an incredible run because of the upbid listing and the price was sitting around like $10.30, $10.40, but then something happened which you will see much more often in the coming uptrend bull run is a major liquidity grab, and I actually called this grab before it happened. Because on December 9th around 7:20 p.m. I actually posted on Twitter that you should have buy targets around like $8.90, $8 and $7.10. And literally 3 hours later at like 10 p.m. on December 9th we got the liquidity grab. I filled the orders with my community around $8 and $8.90. But yeah, once again at the end of the video I will be talking about my short-term and bull run top price prediction for Render, so you definitely want to watch until the end. But now let's continue with the bullish news that happened during the week. So the first big thing is the growth of the 21 shares Render ETP. So in last week's video the asset under management from this ETP was around 900,000 and now it has grown by 600,000 in less than a week. Also, let me remind you, when this actually launched it was like a $100,000 asset under management, so it's already a 15x in less than a month. But again, most of you don't understand the power of the 21 shares ETP, because if we take a look at the Solana ATP, we can see that the assets under management is $1.2 billion. So this is a very big number. Having 1.3 billion under asset is crazy for just a Solana ATP, and this just once again shows you how much bigger the Render ETP can get. It all depends on price action, because when Render starts pumping again heavily, more and more people will buy the ETP from trusted stock exchanges and bankers, and the assets under management of Render will explode. So this is definitely a number you have to keep an eye on, and I will keep everyone updated about this. But let's move on with more bullish news about Render. So another thing that I'm noticing is that the burning is actually getting bigger than the minting. So as you can see on the last epoch, 16.8 thousand Render tokens were burned from real-world GPU and AI usage, and 15,000 were minted. So the burning is 10% more than the minting. So this is already looking incredible. But there's another metric that's literally shocking everybody right now. It's basically the amount of burning valued in dollars in Render per month. As you can see, last year we started the burning, we went up, then we went down, but then we went up, made a higher high as well. But the crazy part is the previous all-time high in October was like $250,000 worth of Render burned by real world utility. But look at December. So December is only 13 days in and we already broke the record and are sitting at almost $300,000 worth of Render burned from real world GPU usage. So this number could go up much more. Everybody knows that during the Christmas time a lot of artists, movie theaters and so render their stuff, so I'm expecting this number to go up. And once again, the higher this number goes, the more the burning does. A lot of people will FOMO and we will get a really nice run like BNB did in 2021. So what I'm noticing right now is ETP asset under management is rising, the burning is rising, but not only the burning and the ETP is rising, but also the amount of holders is rising. 3,000 holders added repeated again in this week on Solana. So we're seeing more and more bullish indicators, like ETP is getting more assets under management, burning is going up, holder count is going up, price is actually looking very good as well. A lot of people don't think about that like me, but it's looking good, and I will show more about it in my short-term and bull run top price prediction at the end of the video. But it's just looking so nice for render right now, and people need to understand, if all these numbers are going up and people are starting to getting more and more profits, all these 80,000 people will spread the word. I'm just one of these holders, and I'm spreading it towards like millions of impressions every month from YouTube and Twitter. And just think about it, the more you see this number going up, the more people will be talking about it. And once again, if render starts a parabolic run again, like it did in Q1 2024 and Q1 2023, this number will explode and everybody will be talking about render. So yes, the future is looking very bright for render, and most of you are being manipulated by market makers, but I will keep you on track to accomplish big dreams in Q1 2025. And before I start with the second part of this video, which is my short-term and bull run top price prediction, if you want to claim a free $500 airdrop, just go to the top of the description and click on the Bybit airdrop link. Once you're at the Bybit airdrop link, you will see my name and Bybit, and you will be able to claim a free $500 position airdrop. So basically all you have to do is click on register to claim, make a new account, deposit money within 7 days, and claim your free $500 position. So it's a limited offer which ends in 4 days, so you only have 4 days left to register a new account and deposit and claim your $500 airdrop. And don't miss out on this, because 500 USDT could change your life in a bull run. So when I do a short-term price prediction, I always try to look at how's the market actually moving. So right now what we're seeing right here is actually a range forming, so it's really easy to see. All we have to do in the 4 hours is just check out the bottom from this range, which is basically here, and then take a look at the top again, which is basically here. And as you can see, render is actually right now live testing this bottom of the range. So always, this is not financial advice, when you want to buy at the bottom of a range, like not at the top, even though this is like a small range between like 920 and 942, so it doesn't make that much of a difference. But sometimes you get a range from like $1.30 up or something, so it's always better to get at the bottom of the range. And maybe when this video goes up, I think in like 6-7 hours, it might be at the top again and maybe breaking out. So that's the next thing. What you want to do from here is break out. So you're seeing right now, this is resistance, so you can see this got denied. This was also like the 980 and like the Fibonacci 0.618 at the higher time frame. So this is what you want to break. You want to actually close above this to make a higher high. So what happened right here is this. On the 4 hour, we got a liquidity grab, we made a high, a low, so this is basically the higher low, and then what you want to make is a higher high. So it basically could be here, get denied at the same spot, make a higher low again, and pump through. But it doesn't have to be like that. So what can happen here is make a higher high, maybe get denied here again, maybe even pump through. So let's get a little bit more indicators. So maybe just break this one, that would be more bullish. And then once again, maybe get a higher low, like retest this previous resistance, which is basically a support resistance flip, and then move up. And this is where it gets interesting, because this is where we get close to like an all-time high, because everybody knows from render the all-time high is like here. But what you also have with render, if you take a look at the weekly, is that you get like a weekly resistance here. So let's just draw this resistance and then we'll go back to the 4 hour. So this weekly resistance here is very important as well. So we can see that this is where the price could be heading, to the weekly resistance, maybe get denied once more here. It's possible before it runs through all-time high. It just depends on the momentum, because if we're in a FOMO rally, we could just break it through. So what are my short-term predictions for this? Again, let's take a look at the higher time frame for my short-term price prediction. So let's take out the daily. And then we're gonna draw the Fibonacci like we always do. So really easy right now. Get on the top here. then drag it to the bottom, and you can see the very important targets right here is basically the Fibonacci 1.68. This is the target. This is my short-term target. Like for 2024 December, I want this target to be hit. Of course, I want this all-time high to be hit as well. So I'm expecting in the coming 2-3 weeks to get the Christmas rally. Every bull run, we got a Christmas rally. We got it in 2016, we got it in 2020, we even got it in 2023, and I'm expecting in 2024. And then from there, the bottom will be reached. So basically, the short-term price prediction could look like this. Like ideally, we could go to like 17, or maybe even better, we break this trend and go to like 24. So this would be very, very nice. And from there, once again, if we go to 24, I expect like a downtrend to like 15. If we go to like 17, I'm expecting like a downtrend to this 11.4. So this is where I expect the January bottom to be. Like January, we will have a correction. It's not financial advice, but it happened in previous bull run. This is like the hype towards the correction. We saw one liquidity grab. I wouldn't be surprised if we go to like this 13 area and the market liquidity grabs again, goes up, liquidity grabs again, goes up, and then liquidity grabs and starts consolidating here. So again, for the bull run top price prediction, it's very important that render consolidates as high as possible, because once it consolidates as like this 14 or even $11, that's basically the start of the next run, and everybody knows Q1 is render time. Render has performed the best ever in February and March. Like every single render big rally, 2021, 2023, 2024, all happened in Q1, and I'm just getting you started for Q1. So this is very important for me, but also some key levels what we're seeing right now, which are very important. If we take once again the 4 hour and then we add an indicator, which is basically the EMA, is the exponential moving average, which is also a very nice indicator, and we just take this one and we put it on the 100. So let's the 100 on the 4 hour. I actually talked about this on Twitter and in my Telegram, which I will talk about later in this video. So basically it just tested it. So this is very bullish because this is a higher time frame indicator. It tested this and pumped up, and now it's actually having struggles with this range. It might just retest this live. So 9.08, which is also once again a very critical Fibonacci level, which I was talking about on Twitter and in my Telegram. So this might just rebound from here. We're seeing it's kind of losing the range, but the 4 hour, it closes in like 2 hours. So this might just be an erasal here, and it's very important that it closes within the range. Otherwise, it might drop down again, and I will update everyone on my Twitter. So now we talked about my short-term price prediction, which I'm expecting for the coming 2-3 weeks. And now let's move on with my bull run top price prediction. So for my bull run top price prediction, once again, all we have to do for the beginning is just get on the Fibonacci, get on the top here, get in the bottom here. So the most important thing for this actually bull run top price again is render needs to break this previous all-time high. Like this is the resistance. Once it breaks it, it will enter what we call a discovery zone. Like, because nobody will be underwater, everybody will be in profit, there is no previous resistance, everybody's happy, everybody's euphoric. That's why breaking a previous all-time high is so important. When everybody's bullish, it's so much easier to push. So basically, the first target which we always see with a lot of coins is a 1.618. So this will be the first major resistance, and unlucky for render is that every Fibonacci level which goes up, like the important ones, are even numbers. So the 1.618 is 20, 30, 40, 50, because even numbers always have resistance as well. It's like physiological resistance, just like Bitcoin had to 100,000 resistance. A lot of people will have thoughts about $20 render, 30, 40, 50, and this isn't actually good for us. But once again, it doesn't really matter. Euphoria will just kick in because I'm expecting these zones to be hit in Q1, like it happened last year. Because if we take the Fibonacci here, and it looks like really small, but this small will be the same as this small we're looking at. So basically just take the top of December, go down to the bottom, and what you can see here is once again the 4.618 is playing out perfectly, because if you take the top here is 12.4, which was actually the top of the February rally, then we got pushed a little bit more on Q1 because of Bitcoin. Like, this is what I'm expecting as well. So basically what I'm expecting is a huge February run, so the beginning of February, basically what we do, where we go parabolic, liquidity grab, followed by another big run in the beginning of March. And once again, the 4.618 is one of my big targets. In a parabolic run, I believe that Render can do much more, because once again, this was done in Q1 without a bull run, without billions flowing in high cap. Like, look at XRP climbing 75 to 150 billion like it was nothing. ADA moving like it was nothing. There's so much more money in the market right now. And Render already did this kind of movement with less money. So yeah, this is my minimum target. But again, not financial advice, but what we're also seeing is something very interesting on the exponential moving averages. Because the last time the 50, so basically that's the red one, crossed the blue one, which is the 100 one, Render actually increased by a lot again. So let's take a look what happened here. So this is where they cross. So this is where they crossed in like the bottom here. And look at the top here. It's an increase of like 600-700%. If we do that again here where it's crosses, so it actually crosses perfectly here. So let's take the price range again. Put a price range here, so the price range is basically here, and then just move it up like 600-700%. So I even have to move up my screen because that much of a gain is being done. So 600%, look at this. It's again in the 50 range. So a lot of things like screaming 50. So history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. So 50 is basically the target. And then once we go parabolic, like when I see this movement bigger in February, I will start making higher calls. Because what we're seeing here right here is that Render actually did the same thing I'm expecting here. It moved, it broke the 1.68 from this correction. Then it went between like the 1.618 and the 2.618. So this is basically what Render could do between 20 and 30, then have a correction and have a major run afterwards. But once again, in the ideal situation, I even want this to happen earlier. I want this correction to be the next correction. So what I want is Render to actually go to like 1924, correct to 15, and then draw the Fibonacci for the next Q1 rally, which we basically did here. But once again, I cannot talk much about it until things happen. So this is my long-term bull run top price prediction, long-term meaning over the next 4 months, and I will update you every week about my targets. But so far it just remains the same until Render pushes through this all-time high. So this is when my price predictions will get very interesting when we enter this area. But so far the price is looking really good, but what we want for Render to really explode is just push through this all-time high and this 1.618 in December. So with 2-3 weeks left, I'm highly confident that we will get a big Christmas rally, but time will tell. So I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Be sure to like if you did. Also follow me at TheRealDoc on Twitter to know when I talk about crypto, Render, buying targets, selling targets, and very bullish news. As I mentioned early in this video, I also launched my free Telegram lounge. So basically the link will be at the top of the description and in the pinned comment. And as you can see on this example, in my free Telegram group, we actually sold the top and then we bought the bottom. So I even tell you when my buy orders are hit, at which price. So this is just to help you guys understand more about price and stuff. Subscribe to my channel for more crypto content and YouTube. Until next time.